This is One-on-One. Joann Gonzalez-Generals is Executive Director of Student Success at Caldwell College. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
You look terrific, and you're doing important, terrific things up at Caldwell College. Hey, listen, we're talking about first-generation Hispanic students that you're trying to help up there, but the fact is you went to Passaic High School in New Jersey. You ran track and field. You were just telling me that, right? And you were the first one in your family. Why you? And did everyone say, "Hey, go get him, Joanne, you're the one"? Was it like that?
No.
No, it wasn't like that. What was it like?
Well, I think as a first-generation college student, I think while your parents could be, very supportive, Steve, and in my case, my mother. I also grew up in a single-parent household.
Oh, you did?
So not only was I a first-generation, but I also grew up in a single-parent household. And while my mother was extremely supportive, Steve, it was really difficult for her. I mean, she took care of children and she cleaned homes for a living. She worked, very, very, long hours and very hard. And it was difficult for her to, help me navigate the college process.
So who helped you?
Extracurricular activities, I think that's important for first-generation students, well, students in general, actually. But for me, those extracurricular activities helped me. And in my case, it was track and field.
Yeah, but there's something else there. Sorry for interrupting, because there's Upward Bound you're a part of, which I've heard of. That's like a 70s, 80s thing, but it's always been there, right? Upward Bound was important to you.
Extremely important.
Tell folks what it was and
sure,
what it is.
Those Upward Bound is one of the federal TRIO programs, and they help, they assist really students who either are first generation, college students, low income students. There's one particular program, Student Support Services program, that also helps students who have disabilities. But in my case, I participated in Upward Bound when I was a junior in high school.
But preparing for what? Like SAT prep, things like
that?
They
had SAT prep, but it also exposes you. I actually lived on the campus of Montclair State for 6 weeks as a junior in high school.
Was that a big deal for you?
It was
like
a huge
not
deal.
Being home for the first time?
It was, but I was glad to, participate and, just be off campus, not off campus, on campus. I was on the Montclair State campus, and I think it was extremely important to expose me to, to college life and what campus life would be like. There are a lot of people, Steve. I have a colleague now who is taking her son to many different college campuses, for the last year in his junior year.
Right?
Right, it is. And for someone who's first generation who hasn't been exposed to that, who does that, right? Who does that for that first generation or low income student, right? It's someone else has to take the place. So this program is important.
So you're seeing it now, okay, up at Caldwell. You're seeing it now. You're seeing these students who are first generation, right? They're going for the first time. And you're obviously using a lot of your own experience. Tell me what a lot of them are facing and tell us how you're helping them up there.
Well,
is it money?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, coming from a household that was low income, that's an important factor. Students, find it difficult. I mean, any student.
So
but
financial aid is big.
Financial aid is big, but we helped them. For example, we held a winter session just a 3-week session where we helped students really just take a course over if they didn't do so well, or just to refresh their skills, and we gave it to them for free at Caldwell because for free during the winter session, because we know that if you're comfortable, financially, you're more likely to persist.
That's a lot in your head if you're not.
It's not. If
you're always worrying about paying that bill.
Sure.
So there's that part. How about acclimating just to college life?
Right.
Like socially.
That's a good question. We have a lot of courses. A lot of colleges, Stephen, have student success courses. Ours at Caldwell College is a freshman seminar course, and and a lot of colleges have these student success courses. But at Caldwell, ours is the freshman seminar, and it is taught by full-time faculty, which is rare. Most colleges have 85 sections or 90 sections of a freshman seminar or college, student success course. But it's special because we really help students transition from high school to college. We help them, we cover topics including time management, test-taking skills,
I was going to ask you about
learning strategies, diversity.
How about just learning to study?
Right, learning to study.
Which is different in high school versus college.
Sure, we cover all of that in freshman seminar, and the freshman seminar instructors see them on a weekly basis. That alone is a best practice. When you have a full-time faculty member, Steve, that you see every single week, that is the best practice, because the more students have contact with a full-time faculty member, the more likely they are to persist.
But there's another thing I'm thinking, because they're first-time students, you know, first generation Hispanic students, I would imagine that some of the parents involved here have some challenges here too.
Definitely. We actually held our parent orientation over the weekend, this past
It
weekend.
had to be interesting for you.
It is. It always is. It always is. And I had, we had, a good 100 parents or so on campus, and we had a panel presentation, for the parents, really just to give them a peek inside the freshman year. What is your son or daughter going to experience their first year? What are they going to see? And I explained to them, and it's important. Parental involvement and that engagement is really important, and especially for a first generation college student, because they don't know how to guide their son or daughter. They're extremely worried.
Are you trying to reassure? Is it about reassuring them?
Yes, and I did, and that's exactly what I did. I reassured them, because we have faculty that care. We have a student outreach system. When we see in the classroom, when a faculty member sees behavior that might interfere with their progress academically, the faculty member contacts the Center for Student Success. I am the executive director of Student Success, so they contact our office to report any type of behavior, extensive absences. So we have an outreach system. We have the freshman seminar course. We give freshmen midterm grades. That's not, that
you
doesn't
don't want to get it
necessarily
too far behind. You
No.
don't want it to become too big of a problem.
Right, and it's not a progress report. We actually give midterm grades so that freshmen know exactly where they stand at midterm time.
You love what you do, I could tell.
I love what I do, Steve, because it's I know how difficult it is. And firsthand. And I also, one of the other programs that I didn't mention before, Steve, that I participated was EOF. I was also an EOF student, Education Opportunity Program. Also, a program that helps disadvantaged students. We have a program at Caldwell. I was also participating in the EOF program. So all of these summer enrichment programs do help, and I am evidence of that.
Joann Gonzalez-Generals, Executive Director of Student Success at Caldwell College. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Keep it up. We all need a helping hand.
Thank you.
One-on-One will continue right after this. Stay with us.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. And by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.